Should we be able to deport Tesla protesters? Let's ask my next guest. Kate Lincoln-Goldfinch is back on. She's an immigration attorney here in Texas and someone who we lean on because she actually deals with this during her business day. Welcome back, Kate.
Hi, thanks for having me back.
Okay, so this comes up in a couple of instances. First, I want to talk about the serious business. There was the plane of people being deported to the El Salvador, Bukele, and Trump made a deal, and we're told that these are all gang members, Tren de Aragua, MS-13. There was a judge that tried to stop it. The plane kept going. Your thoughts on that situation, Kate?
I think it's really concerning overstep by the Trump administration of executive authority. I mean, you know, they happen to have picked a set of facts that I think makes a lot of people supportive of their actions. But if you step back and take out sort of the fact pattern at play, what we have here is the office of the president denying a federal judge's order or not following the order, which is, you know, how the democracy falls. There goes the system of checks and balances. And, you know, when you talk about the specific instances, I mean, the use of the Alien Enemies Act is improper. Of course, we have seen no evidence and have seen evidence to the contrary that these men are actually gang members of Tren de Aragua. You know, so it's like the whole thing is extremely concerning, I think, to people who are paying attention to what's happening.
So if you selectively enforce immigration law, that's democracy failing?
No, this isn't selectively enforcing immigration law. This is improperly utilizing a law from the late 1700s that was in place for a president during a time of war to detain and deport enemy combatants from that country with which we were at war. So that's number one. That's not occurring. Number two, there's been zero due process for these men. They have not gone to a court hearing. They have not had lawyers. No evidence has been presented that they are actually gang members. And I have talked to and seen multiple cases of family members of these men saying he's absolutely not a gang member. He doesn't have any tattoos. He's just a young man from Venezuela. And now these men find themselves in El Salvador, where a federal judge is saying, hold on a minute, you know, I'm ordering you not to take this action. We need to review this. And the Trump administration just disregards the order and sends them anyway, and then shuts down a conversation before the federal judge, and then calls for the impeachment of the judge, which then draws the Supreme Court to speak out and say, hold on a minute, you can't just call for impeachment of a federal judge just because you don't like his political position. So, yeah, it is really, really concerning, because what's the next thing the Trump administration is going to do that a federal judge is trying to stop him from doing, that he just keeps on doing? And the courts do not have armies. Those 9 justices over there in Washington have black robes, and that's it to enforce things. And so if we can't rely upon the 3 branches of government to check each other in the way that the founders, you know, anticipated, we really don't have a democracy anymore. And this is the first instance we've seen where a presidential administration just outright defies a federal court order, and it is extremely chilling. And that's why I say, for people who are scared of Venezuelan immigrants, think that Venezuelans are really bad, you know, want people to be deported who are criminals, et cetera. Okay, number one, question whether that's actually true about this group of people. And then number two, take the fact pattern out of the mix. Is it okay that the president can defy a federal court order under our current governmental structure? Does anybody feel safe when that is allowed?
I feel safe.
Okay. Well, let's see what happens next time Trump takes an action and the courts try to stop him. And it's something that you don't like. I mean, we are headed towards, you know, a dictatorship where he has carte blanche to do whatever he wants. And there's going to come a time where the next steps that he takes is going to be something that you don't like, and then nobody's there to stop him.
Well, you sound like my right-wing friends when they were fussing about Biden ignoring the Supreme Court order stopping him paying off student loans. So I think both sides are a little guilty about this, and not to do a bunch of whataboutism here, but you know, people seem to be selectively concerned about enforcing court orders.
Well, I never heard of Biden not, you know, paying off student loans or whatever, not following a court order. That's something that I did not hear of that, but.
Well, let me ask you this, Kate. What happened to the guys that were sent to Gitmo? Are they still there, or have they been moved somewhere else? I was told that there was like a temporary detention facility that was happening there for some of these deportees.
The last I heard on the Guantanamo detainees is that they were brought back, and that as of, I think it was about a week to 10 days ago, there were no immigrants detained in Guantanamo.
What about the idea of, I know he just put this on Truth Social, so there's no executive order or law or even action here, but he did mention the idea of sending some of these Tesla domestic terrorists to Guantanamo. Do you think that's actually going to happen, or is he just being funny?
I mean, none of this is funny, but yes, I think that is within the realm of possibility, and that's why I am concerned and why you should be concerned if people, U.S. citizens in the United States, are potentially going to be shipped off of U.S. soil in foreign prisons without access to lawyers, without due process rights. Where does it end? Where does it end? Is it next stop somebody who just doesn't align politically with Trump? That is so easily within the realm of possibility down this slippery slope that we're on. And
I think we're drawing the line at property damage, violence, or intimidation for a political cause, which is the textbook definition of terrorism.
Okay, you believe that he's going to draw the line there? I don't. I do not trust that Trump is going to say, oh, you know what? The textbook definition of terrorism is where I happen to draw the line. When has he said that? When has he ever drawn a line? Like, no, he's going to keep going. He is retaliatory and vindictive, and no one's going to be there to stop him. He's going to keep going, and it's going to be the people he doesn't like, the people who stand up to him, the people who disagree with him. Those are the people who are going to be on the chopping block, and that is pretty scary.
I love having you on. Kate, we're out of time, but it was a spirited debate. I appreciate your expertise here. Kate Lincoln-Goldfinch. Lincoln like the president, Goldfinch like that's a bird, right?
Like the bird, that's right.
Thank you very much, Kate. Appreciate it.